Posted, February 16, 2019, 7 hours 43 minutes and 1 second PM MSTOver. The past 2 years I have had the good fortune to be on leave from my faculty position at the University of Florida, thanks to a fellowship from the National Endowment for the Humanities, followed by a sabbatical. During that time I have lived and worked on my scholarship in Boulder County, where my husband and I own a home. We live and teach in Gainesville, Florida, when classes are in session. When classes are not in session or we are on leave, we live in Boulder County. We have done this for 24 years. This situation has given me long-term residence in both a red and a blue state. Colorado has recently entered the blue category while Florida is a red state. The experience of being a citizen in these two contexts could not be more different. In Colorado, state representatives call frequent town meetings where everyone is welcome inside, share their agenda with citizens, call for input and point toward another town meeting in the near future. At town meetings, discussion revolves around the cost of healthcare and drugs, fracking, and the national popular vote. By contrast, in Florida, former Governor Rick Scott reduced the time available for early voting, a measure particularly negative for African Americans. Voting in Florida has become more difficult. You have to show a specific kind of picture ID. When Florida's electoral vote has been contested, the Republican-controlled judiciary has predictably ruled that the state voted for a Republican. Given Florida's voter suppression, perhaps it did. In Florida's 3rd congressional district, which includes Gainesville, the Republican representative to Congress is Ted Yoho, a Tea Party Republican. Yoho was elected because the district is gerrymandered to dilute the Gainesville's vote. In office, Yoho is more interested in telling citizens that they should think the way he does than he is in representing their opinions in Congress. Recently, Matt Gaetz, the Republican representative to Congress for Florida's 1st congressional district, attempted to throw out of a town meeting parents whose children had been murdered while attending school. Gaetz angrily said that there was more danger to the public from the southern border than there is from guns in our schools. During his supposedly Open Gates Day in 2017, Gaetz only met with his supporters. Said one protester who was locked outside, "Open Gates Day is looking pretty close to us." These are just a few examples of community politics in Florida. The political authorities in Colorado embrace the public, reach out to us, want more contact with us and listen to us at every opportunity. By contrast, in Florida it is as if the political authorities are afraid of the citizens, want to ignore us as much as possible, reduce contact with us and brainwash us when they do have contact. My understanding of the contrast between red and blue living deepened when I reread a 2007 article by Jonathan Fox on subnational democratization in Mexico. Mexico is a deeply authoritarian nation that began the incremental process of democratization with its first free national election in 2000. Since then, citizens have tried to bring democracy to the community level with varying degrees of success across the country. In studying community government, Fox writes that this is the interface between state and society. When it is democratic, elected and using local funds, it represents society to the state. When it is not democratic, appointed and using non-local funds, it represents the state to society. Community government is one form of state-society interface, but others include voting rules and access, town meetings, and the attitude of politicians towards citizens. Are citizens welcome and their opinions embraced? Or are citizens feared, excluded, ostracized and treated with disdain and contempt? Although I would define the state-society interface more broadly than he does, Fox helps us understand what is happening in a red versus a blue state. In a blue state, the authorities are democratic, representing and embracing citizen input. In a red state, authorities are authoritarian, excluding, rejecting, defying and disparaging of citizen opinion. This is what is happening in America. We are having our own battle over democratization at the community level. Colorado's authorities represent citizens to the state. Florida's authorities represent the state to citizens. In blue state, democracy is winning. In a red state, authoritarianism is gaining increasing control. Citizens beware. Leslie Anderson lives alternately in Longmont and Florida.